guys, what's going on? It's Colin here again. Today I'm recording another fan video for the first time in a very long time. Managed to get all the college application stuff done, so I've just been busy recently catching up on work, but soon enough I'll be able to get a more regular upload going of these again. I'm going to record a couple today, so at least for the next couple of weeks you get a steady supply of fan videos. But anyways, this is a Patton high velocity industrial heavy-duty air circulator. Ooh. And this is a bit of a childhood fan for me. This is probably from the 90s. If I had to guess, probably late 90s. But the story with this goes that my grandpa actually had two of these growing up. This one and then one other one, which was, I think, possibly a little older or just a slightly different fan because it had the black motor in it and it had this blade set. But unfortunately, that fan was in really rugged shape. This one's in pretty tough shape, but that one was in really rugged shape. The blade set has never been in balance ever since I remember it, and the cage was super rusty, and just the thing was kind of falling apart, and eventually the motor toasted on it, which may or may not have partially been my fault. No comment there. But the blade lives on. It's actually still in this fan, which is a bit of a Franken fan I built a couple of years ago. Don't know if I'm going to do a video on it or not, but this one's still around and kicking. At some point, I painted the blades. I nailed the color, but I completely forgot to tape off the hub. The hub should be more the galvanized color of that blade set, if I remember correctly. But yeah, this thing's still around and kicking. It still works great, despite being in kind of tough shape. These have both lived hard lives. I forget whether my grandpa found these or bought them new or what the deal was. There's a pretty good chance he found them in the basement of a house he used to rent out. But they also served consistent duty in the basement of that house he used to rent out after he got them, because that house used to flood like you wouldn't believe. There'd be like a foot of water in there. So after he pumped it all out, he'd use these fans to circulate air down there and dry everything up. Hence the reason the base is so rusty, be my guess. But yeah, at some point the little rubber things were replaced with bolts. That doesn't work too well because as you tilt it, the bolts loosen and then it doesn't hold its height really well. I have another set of rubber things for this fan, which I think I'm going to rob off this one and put it back on this one. But yeah, I haven't done any real cleaning to this thing. I just use it. Good workhorse. As you can see, it's been welded and broken again. There's a whole ring here that's like missing. There's a couple zip ties on it. A couple of these things are really bent out of whack. But yeah, I'm not going to say it's in good shape, but it's definitely still a good runner. 3 speeds, knob is missing, as they all pretty much were, because those knobs broke. At least as far as I've seen, they're pretty infamous for breaking. Big old Macmillan motor in there, with oil ports, which is nice. I think that there's a model number. Yeah, there's some information down here. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to read that or not. 2.6 amps, it's thermally protected. It looks like there's a date code in there. Come on, focus you. June of 1999. There you go. It's 21 years old. For only being 21 years old, this thing is built like a tank. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much all there is to go over with this one, so why don't we fire it up? It's definitely got a cool startup sound. So let me plug this in and we'll give her a run. Alright, here we go, firing up on high. It's a very interesting startup sound. I've never heard another fan that sounded quite like that. It's got like that multi-tone noise that I love, combined with like a kind of whirring noise, which is pretty cool. But as you can see, this thing runs pretty fast on high, and it moves the air too. It's a little bit out of balance, but here, I'll just stick the camera in front of it and you guys can hear. Definitely a very high volume of air being moved. Not a whole ton of pressure behind it because those blades don't have a tremendous pitch or anything. They're actually relatively flat, but there's a lot of air moving. You can see the cardboard box over here is flapping in the breeze. Don't mind the random junk on the floor, by the way. I'm in the process of cleaning up. But yeah, this thing definitely moves some serious air. Go back here, push it down to medium. Some of this rattling is also because it's sitting on a concrete floor. Doesn't help. But yeah, it's, it's definitely a little off balance. And then low. The nice thing with these fans is low is relatively sane. High is just ridiculous airflow. You're not going to be able to, like I was practically screaming to talk to you guys. Well, that's a slight exaggeration, but low, I'm talking just pretty much normally. And it's noticeable, it's kind of loud, but I mean for a fan of this size, and given the amount of airflow it's still moving, like you could hold a conversation over this running, which is pretty nice. I know modern fans, like modern equivalents like the TPI, they just scream all the time. You can't even talk over them even on low. There's not a big difference between the speeds. Considering how fast the high speed is, this is a pretty slow, quiet low. But we'll go back up to high and do a spin down, and then we'll fire it up on low. Always kind of like this fan. Not entirely sure why, but you know, it was around when I was a kid and it had a cool startup noise and it moved a crazy amount of air, so that's probably most of the reason right there. But I have not serviced this thing ever. As far as I can remember, I've never oiled this thing. Definitely deserves it after 21 years of service, but look at how long this thing is still coasting down. I may have oiled it once or twice, but if I did, it was a very long time ago and I don't remember. But it's still coasting and coasting. Definitely deserves a good servicing job, but honestly, for the amount that I actually use it, I'm probably not going to get around to it for a while. Oh, I never actually mentioned this. There's a tag here. It's a model U2-20CW. So there you go. But let's move the camera down here and get a startup noise on low speed. Here we go. Like I said, it's definitely a unique one. I'm wondering if it partially has to do with the fact that the blades are slightly out of balance or not. That could be total BS, or that could actually be it. I don't know, but it's got a very like I said, it's that like multi-tone whine, which I really love, combined with a kind of like whirry noise. I don't really know how to describe it. You guys just heard it though, so you know what I mean. But anyways, guys, I think that's just about it for this fan. Not a whole lot to talk about with it, really. It's kind of in rugged shape. Maybe at some point I'll get around to servicing this thing, but no promises. If it is, it's going to be a long time in the future. But anyways, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. Just a quick little fan video for you guys. I got to record a bunch of other ones so you guys have some fan content from me. So they might be a little rushed, so I'm sorry. But anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. If you like what you see, you know what to do. Hit those little like and subscribe buttons. I'd appreciate that. By all means, leave a comment if you have one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.